Monster Hunter World. Do I even have to introduce this? The base game was released more than 2.5 years ago on consoles and received a big boy expansion pack Monster Hunter World Iceborne 1 year later. Even though it had the highest accessibility within the franchise, we are talking about from 1 to 4, not counting the spin-offs, it's still getting the "it's too hard to play" treatment when it first released. But hey, I'm not here to talk trash. I'm here to show you my cat. You can make your cat. And you can put some pretty clothes on it. And the clothes can change color too. Best game, 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. It's a wrap, folks. I'ma go home. Bye. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm back. The reason that I'm making this video is because recently, the developers of Monster Hunter World released its last development diary, which means there won't be any more potential major update or free content for this game anymore, after the last update rolled out in about 3 weeks, on the 1st of October. Which also means this development diary kind of marks the end of Monster Hunter World era, one of the more successful time this franchise has worldwide. It's unfortunate that this game ended quickly with a lot of unexplored opportunities under the new system it has. In another standpoint, however, this might be a good thing to let us players kind of move on to Capcom's new implementation in the Monster Hunter World franchise, if there will be any. But before we get into that, let's just talk about this game, shall we?
Finish off this final developer diary with our usual parting words. Ready? Happy hunting!
As one of the old farts that played Monster Hunter Portable 2nd, as known as Freedom Unite in the West, where you saw Nagakuga as the cover page monster if I remember it correctly, it was exhilarating to see monster that you have known and loved gets a complete overhaul in Monster Hunter World. It was a breath of fresh air in the franchise where the main game is similar, yet the system and graphics are no longer from the previous generations. It kind of evolved in some sense, even adding in some new monster entries, quality of life changes when compared to the previous game. And don't forget about the new maps. It's beautiful. It's not just a map, it's an ecosystem. Here you see a wild great jaguar in its natural habitat, swallowing an astronaut whole with its giant mouth. Back to you, B. As you can see, it's pretty scary. The combat is yeet! Yeet it again! Woo! It kept the original way of fighting while adding in new moves. On top of that, since the map has been changed quite drastically, even the way how you can tackle monsters has been changed. There are a lot more environmental tools you can use while fighting, for example rocks, boulders, etc. After the Iceborne update, the Clutch Claw has been added, and that changes the game completely. Even my big boy horn got an update. And yeah, you might have known by the footage I use. I use lance and horn usually. And it's satisfying when you hit the monster with the power of music ape style, and you even got a unique little tune when you use different horns. Check this out. And this brings us to the things that won't see any improvement since there won't be any major updates no more. First of all, reusing models. Players will know what I'm talking about. The bone weapons / steel weapon treatment, or maybe monsters model that's been reused a lot or has similar movesets. It's pretty obvious that in the beginning of this game released, but it is understandable, since the developer had to rebuild every single model for the new world, since everything is different from the previous game in terms of monsters and the environment. For example, you need to remodel every single monsters and of course how they interact with each other, how they do turf wars, or even how they interact with the world or do their habitat thing. Since this new world is not a playground anymore, it is an ecosystem. However, how about the weapons, Capcom? Where are my unique designs, Capcom? Where's my Dengeki horn, Capcom? As mentioned above, most of the weapon, unless it's fully upgraded, gets the bone weapon or steel weapon treatment. Even for some fully upgraded weapon like Anjanav's weapon, is just like the bone stuff but with red skin on it. Kind of dull and lack of designs, to be honest. But this treatment or maybe this thing has been improved in the update of Iceborne, since almost every weapon that you get in Iceborne gets the new unique design or maybe some special design, unlike other weapons in the base game. But there isn't any improvement in the base game. The story, the story. We don't talk about that here. Let's just say the story, it's not the main point about this game. And about the character, I like the Edgelord Sensei, and that's about it. Overall, Monster Hunter World is a great addition to the franchise, not only attracting new players to this game but also pushing them to other games within the franchise, making more people outside Asia know more about Monster Hunter. Even my friends started to try out Monster Hunter Generation X on Switch, and even just try out some previous title in general. For example, Monster Hunter Portable 2nd, Freedom Unite, Frontier G, etc. Of course this game is not perfect, but with its beautiful environment, carefully crafted system of combat, and of course in-depth combat system and customizations, it's pretty close. In my opinion, I give this game a out of 10. Now go, my fellow hunters. See you next time. Bye bye. If anything happens to Cotton, I will kill everyone in this new world and then myself.